This is sort of return. This is sort of return. We're returning. We're returning to school. We're returning to the synagogue and Hanukkah, and these are the 3 months of return. Let's go ahead and let's. So Robin's. I was thrilled when another little anecdote that I told upstairs, and that's how I found Robin. I knew, for instance, that sometimes when you write, if you look at your old cookbooks, if you look at some of the photographs, they can appear to be very dated. You know, certain table settings are very elaborate. We don't do that anymore, and I was afraid of using too many photographs that would appear to be very dated. And it seemed to me that the great cookbooks, not including mine, but seemed to have drawings. So I thought, well, let me think about drawings so that they don't look dated after a while. And I had spoken to a couple of different artists, and when we were invited to Louisville by Alistair Shurin for Cantor Lip's 10th anniversary for the music festival, and I saw Robin's poster, I was absolutely blown away by the poster. And I spoke with Robin, and I asked her if I could get permission to use it, and it actually became the cover of the book. So Robin, I worked with Robin, and she has been amazing. So this is the Rosh Hashanah illustration for Rosh Hashanah, and of course we talk about foods for the holiday, and this is Jewish apple cake, which I actually had difficulty. I never really had a recipe for Jewish apple cake. I mentioned this in the book. When I moved up to Philadelphia, my first job was at Temple University in the Department of Ophthalmology, and we actually, because everybody's a foodie there, we would have luncheons, people would bring in dishes. I gained quite a bit of weight when I was working at Temple. I don't know why, but we were always celebrating and having dinners and luncheons. And one of our, South Philly is where a lot of the Italian Americans live, and one of our ophthalmic technicians there was Anne Marie, and she was a fantastic cook, and she brought in this Jewish apple cake. And you know, I said, Anne Marie, I cannot get a Jewish apple cake recipe from any of my Jewish friends. Can I please have your recipe? She brought in this Jewish apple cake, and that's where I got my Jewish apple cake. So you don't have to be Jewish to make Jewish food. So that's a great Jewish apple cake recipe. Next slide. This is a break the fast, obviously, and I'm going to ask Robin if she would. She has some interesting thoughts on some of her imagery. If she would maybe comment on her her illustration.
Well, one of the things that I was thinking about in doing these drawings is that Judaism is a little different in that we make time sacred as well as things or places sacred. And so in a lot of the drawings you'll see windows that are showing the changes in the light, the changes in the season, and you'll see looking outside if it's not actually set outside. And since a lot of the holidays also have agricultural ties to them, I thought that was an appropriate image. And then I've shown the breaking of the fast, and this is generally what happens in our house. Our kids both have a very large shofar each, and they love to really wail on that thing when it's time to break fast. My daughter is particularly good at it, and
some melted chocolate too, and mandel bread. So these are nice. These are all desserts from the month of Tishrei, from all the holidays. And then I think Robin, did you? Yeah, you mentioned Shabbat. You had some thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think we also have the window there with the sun setting, and I'll just say too, like the age of the boy, just call him Michael. The age of Michael in the drawings is about 9 years old, and I spent a number of years teaching 9-year-olds at the Sunday school at AJ, and one of the interesting things about 9-year-olds is they're able to physically master the world